everybody, welcome back to another weekly market review for F45 trading. This week we will be discussing July 20th to the 24th. So we're well in the swing of summer. And again, as I mentioned, summer trading, it tends to be a little bit slow and stagnant, and it's definitely not disappointing now. So we can see the US dollar. At the time of this recording, it is Monday morning, and it has just taken out this old previous low here from the July 10th. So just took it out, and so far it is rejecting a little bit. Now, what I'm interested to see is if we're going to get continuation to the downside. Don't be surprised if they just come in, sweep this low here, and then reject and start to trade a little and drift a little bit higher. I'm not suggesting that they're going to get all the way back up here or anything like that, but it wouldn't surprise me to see them come back and give back a little bit of this decline here. We'll see what they want to do, but if we get a daily close, so here's the two things. If this daily candle on Monday here comes down and closes below this low here, so if we stay below this blue line, which comes in at, let's get the exact level here, low comes in at 95, call it 70. If we get a close below 95.70 today, just watch that. Then I would kind of anticipate them to continue to drop US dollar lower, which would be my hope. I'd like to see that happen. But if we have a problem staying below that level today, and I'll go down to an hourly, as you can see, we're just sort of chopping in here right now. Price about 4 hours ago just dropped below that level there that I was looking at, and rejected quite steadily. But we're starting to see a little bit of rejection in here now, and price falling off a little bit. If this does continue and we see price close lower than that level on the daily, I would anticipate this to continue to move lower. And then from there, I think it would be pretty safe to say that we can assume that they're probably going to try for this low down here, and we can target for that, which would be great. Now, is it going to be a one straight shot down there, in a couple of days, or a week? Probably not. They're probably just going to continue to do it like this and just slowly work their way down there, if that's the case. But nonetheless, I think we could probably pick a target down there. So I want to see what today closes like, and then I think Tuesday would probably offer up a couple of fairly decent opportunities going forward. So real quickly, I'd like to look at the economic calendar for the week, see what we have stacking up. And so we've got some Aussie news later Monday evening, talking about their monetary policy meeting minutes. There's a Euro Economic Summit, day 4 today. And then moving into tomorrow, we have Canadian dollar retail sales, some more Aussie dollar news. And then going into Wednesday, it's pretty much all medium impact news events. We do have a bank holiday for the Japanese currency on Wednesday. So watch out for that. Crude oil inventories Wednesday as well too, but nothing major in terms of big landmines that we got to be aware of. Going into Thursday, we've got pound sterling NPC member Haskell speaking. Got unemployment claims for the dollar, which again, as you can see, looks like it's getting better. Every single week they come out with unemployment claims, and it does look like they are getting better. And then we have CB leading index meeting minutes on Wednesday. And then Friday, we've got some high impact news events here. We've got Euro news, French flash services, and German flash manufacturing. And then we've rolling into a lot of Euro news actually for the rest of the day, and then some pound sterling news as well too, and US dollar flash manufacturing. So all in all, it's a fairly quiet week news events, with exception of Friday. Watch out that for all that stuff on Friday. We could see some volatility, but for the most part, should be pretty straight shooting. Okay, so we'll see what we get with the US dollar. EurUsd. If we continue that decline on the dollar, then it should have no problems moving higher. And you can see We had a bit of a shallow retracement in here, and price didn't want to go any lower. In the past 3 weeks, it's been pretty much pushing up fairly steadily. So I would anticipate if we do see a further decline in the dollar, then it should take out this old high up here at 114.96, and more than likely it'll push up into the 115s and sweep that area there. So that's kind of what I'll be watching for. Going down onto the daily, you can see where we're at here. We're still trading strong above this old weekly high back in here. Had a bit of a decline last Thursday and a strong finish to last week on Friday, and then Monday right out of the gate again we're popping higher. So again, I want to see how Monday closes, but just keep an eye on these levels here. As long as we can stay above these areas in here, stay above this price structure, we should see continuation to the upside, and I think we can easily target this area in here, which would give us a pretty healthy 60 to 70 pips anyway. So we'll see how that materializes. But you can see the day trading on this. I'll put the day dividers on. It's been a little bit choppy, especially in the last week. And I was on holidays all last week. I just got back in myself late yesterday. And I really didn't participate in any market activity last week. A little bit of stuff early on in the week, but that was about it. And you know, I don't, in my personal opinion, think I missed anything. You can see the majority of the week, with the exception for a little bit of an up range on Monday and a half decent range on Tuesday, the rest of the week was pretty much sideways. And so far, Monday morning here, at the time of this New York Open, it's the same thing. We're still just sort of chopping sideways here. So there's really not a whole lot to miss out on EurUsd. But again, I'll be looking to see how Monday closes. If we can stay above these levels in here, then I think there's a good chance it's going to keep running higher. My eye right now is coming back down to see if they want to come up. Excuse me, folks. My eye is coming back down to 1395 to 1400. I want to see if they want to close this area back up and get back into this consolidation area in here. Maybe dip down there one more time. It may not be too likely just with the result of this candle right here, and this could certainly be the low. But I just want to see. I'm not taking any trades until London Open Tuesday, and so which would be about, call it 12, 13 hours from now. But I want to see how this plays out. I want to see if we can stay above this 1395 level. Or if price smashes back into this and rejects, that could be cause for a long. But definitely don't want it to move lower than this consolidation area in here. And looking for higher prices as long as the US dollar continues to fall off. And again, one more time, if the US dollar comes back higher up into here, obviously EurUsd will probably fall off, and we may be coming back to scoop up some of the areas underneath these lows in here. Okay, so we'll watch for that. Now, GbpUsd has wanted none of that consolidation. Today, it basically shot straight out of the gate, and a nice little failure swing to go lower here. And prices moved up, a pretty good move so far for New York Open, about 120 pips. I'm really anticipating higher prices on GbpUsd. I like this area right above here. I think they're going to come back into that, but the million-dollar question is, I want to see, do we come back down in here and give up some of this gain first and then pop higher, or is it just going to be a straight shot? That's kind of what I'm looking for right now. But you can see on the daily, let me get rid of some of this, clean it up. You can see on the daily here, move this guy up here. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this previous consolidation to get swept, but again, we've been up into this area 1, 2, 3, 4 times now, and so far prices failed to get any higher. We're up here again 5 times, and so that's, again, I want to see, do we continue higher and shoot above these highs and possibly run for this high here? I think we'll get a pretty good indication today. So, like I said, I don't want to see price just pop its head above here and then reject and come all the way back down. If it does, that's fine. We can certainly trade that, but it'd be more in line with what the US dollar would be doing. So I'm just going to be watching it closely here to see how it plays out the rest of the day, and hopefully you do as well too. There's lots of time. Don't rush into any trades here. Again, it is summer, and you can expect more of this stuff kind of stuff to continue. And Euro GBP, we had a big sell-off, and you can see that big pop in GbpUsd as a result, right in here. So again, anticipating more sell-off, but what I'd like to see is if they could come back up into here, retouch back off of that consolidation level, and then fall down into here. That setup right there, to me, would be a perfect opportunity for a setup like this for GbpUsd, and then a pop higher. So that's sort of what I'm hoping we're going to see happen. Again, time will tell, but I'm not going to be rushing into anything. We'll wait for the setups to come because, you know, again, folks, it's summer, and you know, you got to kind of take it easy, take everything with a grain of salt. We've seen a lot of consolidation in the markets, especially with US dollar, a lot of consolidation in the markets. So there's definitely no rush for about the next, you know, 4 to 5 weeks, and then hopefully we should be picking up to regular trading again. USCAD, there's nothing really to talk about in here. Again, we're still locked in this extended consolidation level in here. So until we start to get some kind of momentum out of here, buy the lows and sell the highs. That's all I can say there. Aussie, pretty much the same thing as well. You can see we're in a real tight range in Aussie. And we haven't seen a real tight range in Aussie like this for quite some time. So again, you know, Aussie was one of my favorite pairs there for quite a while. It was trending very nicely, and now it's just kind of come to a standstill. So until something happens in Aussie, there's really not a lot to talk about here, other than the fact that if, again, we lose this low here and price stays on the daily, closes below this low here, then that may give the green light to Australian dollar to start running higher, in which case we can then, you know, we can target this high here and right there, and possibly, you know, look at some of these old highs back in here if we start to get some real momentum on the upside. But again, I don't think we're going to see real momentum until, you know, that September time frame. Okay. Want to talk about gold quickly. Gold just made a new high today, so very impressive. Looks like it's giving some of that back right now after it ran that old high, but all-time new high on gold at 1820. So that's great to see. You can see that, you know, been a long time, or been a long time coming. I believe everybody knew gold was going to finally start pushing higher. I'm glad to start seeing it. I'm not super convinced yet, though. I'd like to see them, I like this consolidation here. I wanted to see them drop lower and take out some of the old lows on gold. So I'd like to see that we're starting to push higher on it. You know, we got a nice big up candle on Friday after it rejected the Thursday low. Big push up on Monday. I don't want to see this give back and come back into this consolidation area from here now. I think it should just start moving higher. So if it does give us that, then I think we can get the green lights for higher prices on gold, which would typically mean that US dollar will be falling off. So watch for that, but I'd like to see this. And again, just waiting for Monday to close to see where we're at on here. If we do, you know, continue to the upside, or if it gives us back up and starts trading back into the range here again. Okay, but this again, very difficult to trade. A lot of traders, you'd be getting chopped up in something like that. So typically, when markets start to do this, and these long wicks that they're putting in here, typically, you know, grounds to stay out and wait for them to get to a little more fluidity is what you're looking for. So a little more symmetry. Crude oil is, again, still stagnant. We haven't done anything since we pretty much closed this gap in here about 3 weeks ago. So I'm waiting for crude to do something. Typically right now in the summer months, though, again, crude goes very quiet. And then it starts to pick up again for sort of a fall run into the highs into October. And then you typically see price really start to fall off going into the end of the year, only to have a, you know, first and second quarter rally again. So really not much in crude oil that I see right now, especially leading up into the fall election to the U.S. I think they're probably going to keep prices fairly tight. So, you know, I'll be watching it, of course, but nothing on crude oil here that I'm seeing that's exciting or that's worth trading. So Finally, I just want to talk real quickly, S&P 500. You can see here, we still have this gap way up here. I'm looking to see if I want to close this thing. Obviously, the NASDAQ has come in and, excuse me, was it the NASDAQ? Yes, the NASDAQ has been coming in and creating all-time new highs. Every single week it comes out and creates a new high, new high, new high. And this was that old high in here that the Dow and the S&P have been having a little bit of trouble getting higher into, but you can see the NASDAQ just wants no part of that, and it's been just skyrocketing. So as long as the US dollar is pumping money into the economy and these companies are doing stock buyback programs, that's going to continue. So just keep that in mind. All this helicopter money coming out right now, it's going to continue to push the markets higher. So I wouldn't be short on any of these indices at the moment, but just look for the opportunities. So anyway, S&P 500 had a nice little pop on Monday, clearing out the Thursday, Friday stagnation, and I'm looking for this high to get taken out. Whether it does it today or into Tuesday, I don't know. But again, kind of a similar theme. I'd like to see if we could come back down into here, shoot back maybe into this high or back into this consolidation, and then possibly see if we could get a rep higher. And then that's where I'll be looking to target, this old high back here from mid last week. Keep in mind, there is a bit of a gap down here. They did come back down and just kind of touch into it there with a candle wick. I'd like a little more confirmation, in my opinion, on that. So I'm still not totally convinced we're going to see this thing just start pushing higher before it comes back down into here. I could be wrong, and I could be overly cautious on it, as I mentioned. But I'd rather be overly cautious and solvent than take chances and have this thing run against me, because I got a long idea up here. So watch this area in here. If price fails to go, if price fails to go higher and take out this high, watch these areas in here in this consolidation. If price starts trading back into there, I think it's pretty much a given that it's going to try to scoop below this low here and this low and get back into this green shaded area in here. I'm not saying it's not going to continue going higher after that or anything like that, but just from where we're currently at, just keep your eye on that low there. I think I'd like to see them close that gap a little more effectively, essentially closing the body of a candle back down into this gap and not just a wick. Again, could be overly cautious, but you can see here, for example, last week, what they did. Was this from last week? Yes, this was Monday's trading where they had this gap and they came in, closed it once, closed it twice, and everyone was thinking, oh yeah, this thing's going to start running higher. And then at the end of the day, we had the last 2-3 hours of trading where they smashed price back down. So again, this market structure right here is a bit concerning when I see the same typical things setting up into here, okay? So just be careful on S&P 500. But that's all I've got for you folks. I appreciate you watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, share it out to your group. I would really appreciate that. I do this stuff for free, so any help you can help, any way you can help me on that end would be very much appreciated. Get the word out a little bit. And all of my members, I will see you guys in the chat room Tuesday morning, and we're going to be hunting for some trades. So thanks for watching, folks. Hope you guys have a great week of trading. Good luck.